Hi, Phanessa here. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to knit the Dandelion beanie. So this is the original super bulky version. It is the Dandelion slouch. As you can see, I made this one fitted, so I will be making adjustments to the old pattern. And this is the new one. It's a slouch because it's a little bit taller, and this is knitted with worsted weight yarn. This is super bulky. So I'm going to use this one for the video because it's bigger and it'll go quicker. Okay, so for the materials, I am using super bulky weight yarn. For the mini version, this is just yarn I had left over. I'm not quite sure what the name is. I know it's Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby. You'll need 2 sets of knitting needles. I have US 13 and US 15, 9 and 10 millimeters. For the Dandelion mini, I used 4.5 and 5.5 millimeters. You need a pair of scissors and tapestry needle. These work great for the super bulky weight yarn. You just need something with a large eye. You need a tape measure and one stitch marker. This just happens to be laying around here, so I'll use this one since it's big. So I have these that I made myself, and I do have videos on how to make your own stitch markers. So I'll use that one. Okay, let's get started then. I'm going to cast on with the long tail cast on method. If you need a tutorial for that, I will go ahead and link that in the corner. So just make sure that the tail end is on this side, so in front of you. And this is where the ball is. With your forefinger and thumb, place it in between the strands and grab both strands with the remaining fingers. And then you want to sort of open this up so you can place your needle underneath, place your finger there to hold it still, and then pull back. Okay, you can start with a slip knot, and then just the slip knot would be right here, and this will be your first stitch. This counts as your first stitch. So you're going to come under your thumb here, and then over here, top down, and then you're going to pull it through here, and then let go, gently tighten that just a little bit. I'm going to cast on 40 stitches plus one more, so a total of 41 stitches. I'm joining with the invisible joining method, so I do need that extra stitch. I have my 41 stitches, that's 40 plus 1. And this stitch pattern is in multiples of 8. Okay, make sure your stitches are not twisted before you join. So you're going to slip this stitch here purlwise as if you're purling, pull it off, and then the very first stitch on this side, which is now the second stitch, you want to pull that over the one you just slipped and then drop it. So that returns me back to 40 stitches, and that's why you need the additional 1 stitch. Grab your marker. Okay, so I'm going to knit the brim, and for the brim it's going to be knit 1 purl 1, so I'm working a 1 by 1 rib. So you're going to knit your first stitch, insert your needle this direction, and knit with your yarn in the back, yarn in the front, and purl the next stitch, and then repeat all the way around. You want to knit and purl. If you need help with knitting and purling, visit my playlist on how to knit on my YouTube channel. Okay, so just repeat that all the way around. Yarn forward. So yarn forward is the same thing as yarn in the front. So we're going to purl, yarn back, and knit. Yarn forward and purl. So repeat this all the way around. I've been demonstrating continental and traditional by request, so I hope you are enjoying this video. And if you find it useful or helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. You'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat this all the way around. Okay, that's my last stitch. I'm just going to slip my marker, and then I'm going to repeat. So this is knit and then purl. If you get lost, just make sure you are knitting the knit stitches and purling the purl stitches. With the purl stitches, you'll see this strand of yarn that goes around in the front. That's a purl stitch. The knit stitch just has a knit stitch underneath it. This was called the purl bump. So you're going to work as many rounds as you want your brim. For a child, I would say this is somewhere between toddler and child. I'll probably work about 4 to 5 rounds. For an adult, I usually like to work 7 rounds, but that's all personal preference. Okay, so I've decided on 5 rounds. This is my last stitch. I'm going to switch on over to the larger size needle. So for 4 rounds, 1 through 4, you're just going to knit every stitch. Okay, easy, right? Just go ahead and knit every stitch for a total of 4 rounds. So we're going to start with the dandelion stitch, and to work this stitch you're going to skip this next stitch, and then on the second stitch you want to count down 3 rounds. Okay, so look in between the V here. See these V's right there? So you're going to count. I'm going to stretch this out. Okay, so here's 1, 2, and 3. So that's where you're going to pull your loop from. Okay, so insert this needle into that stitch there, and then grab the yarn and pull it up. Make sure you pull it up tall because you want this to be loose. Now you're going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then back into the same space. Grab another loop. Make sure you pull it up tall. Knit 2, and then back in here to pick up your 3rd loop. And now you knit 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then repeat. Skip this one. On the next stitch you want to count down 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3. Insert your needle and pull up a tall loop. Knit 2 into the same space. Pull up another loop. Knit 2, and then into the same space pull up your last loop. So you're only pulling up 3 loops, and then knit 4. That's your repeat. The dandelion stitch and then knit 4. It's traditional. So for the traditional style, skip the next stitch. On the next stitch, count 3 rounds down. 1, 2, 3, and then pull up a tall loop. Okay, knit 2, 1, 2, into the same area, stitch, space, whatever you want to call it. Pull up another loop. I mean, if you need to use your other hand, go ahead. Knit 2, whoops, and one last loop into the same space. Grab your 3rd loop. Okay, and then knit 4. So repeat those stitches all the way around. I'm on my last 4 stitches. This is the end of the stitch repeat. Move my marker. Okay, so for round 6, we're going to slip this first stitch. We're going to work that stitch with the last stitch, and you'll see that at the end of the round. So slip this stitch, and you're going to knit, and then knit 2 together. knit, and knit 2 together. So in the last round we created extra stitches, so we just want to reduce these stitches so that we're back to our normal stitch count. Okay, so you're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, and knit 2 together. So repeat, knit 3, and then this is how I find my stitches if I am lost. So there are 3 loops that are pulled up. The first one here is always going to be knitted with the first loop, and then you knit 1, and then the second loop is with this one, and then you knit 1 again, and then you have your last 2 knit 2 together. Okay, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, and knit 2 together. You're going to repeat until the last stitch. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, and knit 2 together, knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is my last set here, and I'm at the end. So I've worked the knit 3, and here is my marker. Remember, we slipped that very first stitch. We're going to slip this one over here, remove the marker, so drop your marker, and then put this loop back, and we're going to knit these 2 together. Now place your marker, and then you're ready for the next round. So for rounds 7 through 10, you're just going to knit every stitch. And then after that, we'll work another dandelion stitch. And this time the dandelion stitches will be in between these ones. So go ahead and knit 4 rounds of knit stitches. So 4 rounds of stockinette stitches. Okay, I'm at the end, move my marker, and I'm going to continue to knit for 4 rounds. If you have trouble remembering where you're at, grab a stitch marker and place it on the very first round after the decrease round, basically after round 6. Okay, so place a marker right there. That was the first round of the knit stitches. That way, if you put your work down, you will be able to find out where you're at. And another way of looking at it, this is the loop that we pulled up for the dandelion stitch. This one right above it is going to be the decrease stitch, and then the one right above that is your first stitch of your 4 rounds of stockinette. Okay, I am ready for another dandelion stitch round. This time we're going to start with knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then skipping this stitch, go to this one, count 3 rounds down, knit 2 into the same space, pull up another loop, knit 2, last loop, make sure you pull it up. Okay, so repeat, knit 4, and then work your dandelion stitch. Skip this one, count 1, 2, 3, pull up a loop, knit 2, pull up your second loop, knit 2, and pull up your third loop. If you want to double check, just make sure that you're pulling from right in the center between these two, and you're going to want to make sure you're pulling from the the middle stitch or the middle column. Okay, I'm going to repeat that around. Okay, round 12, we're going to decrease those dandelion stitches a little bit. So you're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3. The stitch right before the first loop here is going to be knitted together with the loop. So knit 2, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together. When I said knit 2, I meant knit 2 together. Okay, so repeat around, knit 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's that stitch before the first loop, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, and knit 2 together. So I'm going to repeat this all the way around. These are my last 2 stitches, knit 2 together, and we're done. So what you want to do is repeat rounds 1 through 12, about 1 to 2 inches away from the height that you want. Okay, so I'm going to work probably another set or another half a set. You want to end after the decrease round. So you want to end on round 1 or round 7, which is the first round of the 4 round stockinette stitches, right after the decrease. If you want it slouchy, you just knit more. So your decrease is about 1.5 inches. Keep in mind that the decrease is 1.5 inches. So if you want it fitted, you want to stop about 1.5 inches before the desired height that you want. And you will measure from the bottom of the brim up to right under the needles. Okay, I just worked another set of dandelions, so I just finished round 7. That's where I'm going to start my decrease. So for the decrease, you're going to knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then knit 2 together. So knit these 2 stitches together. And then you just repeat that all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2 together. So repeat that all the way around. So if you have remaining stitches or you don't have enough stitches to complete your repeat, just stop where you're at. So I have the 4 stitches and I don't have 2 more to decrease. I'm just going to leave that alone. Same thing goes if you have 2 stitches left, just go ahead and knit the remaining stitches. Okay, so I'm going to try for a fitted beanie on this one. Round 2 of decrease, it's going to be knit 3 and then knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. So of course the next round is going to be knit 2 together. If your stitches get tight, you can switch on over to the double pointed needles. I'm going to work the modified version of the magic loop. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I only have 1 stitch left. I'm going to knit it. Round 3, knit 2 and knit 2 together. Knit 2 and knit 2 together. Next round, knit 1, knit 2 together. So my stitches are getting a little tight to go around my needles. So I'm going to do this. So on this side, I'm going to leave 1 loop on the needle and push the rest onto the cable. On this side, I'm going to grab as many loops as I can and then continue. So I just knit 2 together. So I'm going to continue knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, and then repeat that. So leave 1 loop on this side and then slide as many as you can onto this side. This is my last stitch here. So I'm almost done. Knit 1, knit 2 together, and knit 1, knit 2 together. Okay, let's see if I can close that comfortably. Okay, so I think I want to repeat that last decrease 1 more time, just to make the crown a little bit smaller. So knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, and I don't have enough stitches there, so I'm going to adjust. Knit 2 together, knit 1, and I only have 1 stitch left, so I'm just going to knit the last stitch. Okay, so cut your yarn, make sure you have enough to weave in your ends. Grab your tapestry needle. I'm going to use this one, show you how easy it is. Okay. You're going to pull the loops towards the edge, and you're going to slip these off with your tapestry needle, knitwise. Pull it tight, and you want to weave this in the wrong side, so right into the center of the hole, and just run it around a couple of times just to kind of close it a little bit tighter. I'm ready to cut this. I'm going to insert halfway, wrap my yarn around my needle, and pull tight. Don't forget to weave in your beginning tail. This beanie is about 8.5 inches. As I said, let's see, I stopped at about 7 inches. So your decrease is about 1.5 inches. Keep in mind that the decrease is 1.5 inches. So if you want it fitted, you want to stop about 1.5 inches before the desired height that you want. Keep in mind that the decrease is 1.5 inches. So if you want it fitted, you want to stop about 1.5 inches before the desired height that you want. Keep in mind that the decrease is 1.5 inches. So if you want it fitted, you want to stop about 1.5 inches before the desired height that you want. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button. You'll be notified every time I post a video. I'll see you next time.